So the recording is up. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, or morning or evening. Here in Vancouver, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ginny. I'm the Applied Skills Program Coordinator here at Columbia College. I'm also the one that invited you to this information session hosted by NPower Canada, where they'll tell you about their tech training program that's provided for free, and they'll tell you all about it, all the exciting information. And so I'm really happy to welcome Christopher and Jamel here from NPower, and they will be providing you with all the information. So I will let them take over.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Ginny, for having us. And welcome, 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 everyone. I'm in Vancouver as well, feeling the heat, but trying my best to stay cool and share about our cool program that we're offering to Vancouver, British Columbia. So thanks for having me. Just some housekeeping rules. Just please, 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 just keep your mics off until you're on the floor, you're asking a question, just so that it's muted, you don't have the background noise as a distraction for any of us. And remember that this is a safe, respectful space. So we're welcoming of questions. Please feel free to post your questions in the chat. Jamal will do his best to answer them for you. And we'll also have a time at the end of the presentation for you to take your questions, okay? So my name is Christopher Wine, and I am the program manager for NPower Canada, Vancouver. Before I go on, I'd like to acknowledge that I live and I work on the traditional unceded territories of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam people. Today, I'm going to share some exciting opportunities. That's why we're here. We're here to share about NPower Canada and how we can get it going, how we can get into IT. That is why we're here today. And why you're here listening to the presentation. Read our agenda, we have a few points. We're going to be looking at, talking about who we are. We want to establish our credibility and our credentials, so you are aware of what we've been doing in the training and employment space, employment support space for a number of years. And our goal is to connect qualified participants with meaningful and sustainable jobs, so they can advance, they can start, initiate, and advance their careers. That is why we exist. We're going to talk a little bit about how we do it, how we manage to successfully graduate participants and connect them to meaningful employment. And we're going to talk a little about our application process. I say a little about, I'm sure that you'll have a lot of questions in this area. And that is what the agenda is looking like today. It's going to be a sort of informal chat. I don't want to think it's a rigid presentation. So feel free, we welcome your questions and we'll do our best to answer them. That is why we're here. Who we are. NPower Canada, we've been around for a number of years, since 2014. And we are a non-for-profit. And what we have identified in conjunction with our industry, IT industry partners, is a skills gap that exists between the number of jobs that exist in the IT space, in the IT sector, entry-level jobs, and the number of applicants that are qualified, that are ready, and able to access these jobs. So we are the bridge. That is what we are basically at NPower Canada. We are the bridge. And we're going to get into all about this, about how we do it. But I'd like to share with you that the reason why we're able to do what we're doing, offer training and employment support, is through the generosity of our funders. And we have a pool of funders that allow us to offer our courses and support free. I'm underlining, underscoring free. Free, in demand, sector-driven, instructor-led, technical, professional, personal development training to connect you to those rewarding careers in the IT space. Did I say free? And we were talking about funders that are among some of Canada's top employers. And some of them are also in our employer pipeline. So our graduates are able to connect to jobs with some of these funders. I want you to imagine, and I want you to imagine you're playing an online game. And the aim is to level up so you can grasp the top prizes. And for some reason, you're unable to do so. You're stuck at level 1. But you hear about other participants across Canada, across the world, and they have been able to level up. And you hear about those in Ontario, those in Toronto, those in Calgary, those in Halifax. And through some new program and help that they've been getting and support, they have been able to level up 6 months or thereabouts to build their avatar tool belts that they can confidently move forward. And the support is coming from a group that calls themselves NPower Canada. My question to you, would you embrace that support and free support, I might add? Yes or no? And it's okay if you're going to say no. The question is for you. Are you willing to embrace the free support that is being offered to you? Definitely yes. Can't say no to free. Okay. Reminding me of myself. I love free as well. That is why we're here, through consultation with a wide range of employers in the IT space. We've developed a comprehensive curriculum that is sector-driven to equip you with in-demand, sought-after technical and professional training and skills. I mentioned our funders, and you're like, who are these funders? Well, take a look at the next slide. Recognize any names? Our courses and support that we offer are all free, as I said, due to the kind input and assistance of our funders who have recognized the gaps that exist in terms of jobs being unfulfilled or underfilled. Google, Microsoft, few of the giants in the industry, Cisco, Accenture. We have the federal government of Canada in conjunction with the provincial governments of Nova Scotia, of Ontario, of British Columbia. We have the financial giants as well, financial sector giants. RBC, TD, CIBC, to name a few. You can see it all for yourself here on the slide that I'm presenting. So we do have the credibility, we do have the insights as to what is needed to successfully connect you to those jobs that are there. They're there, they're waiting, they're available. And as I mentioned before, a number of our funders are a part of our employer pipeline. So we have been able to successfully connect graduates to some of these giants. I need to stick up in here and also emphasize that while we have some giants aboard in terms of employers, what we seek to do as we expand across Canada and British Columbia, more specifically, is ensure that their local employers being incorporated into our pipeline so that participants can access jobs in their communities. The goal is to connect you with jobs. And not everybody wants to work for big giants and big companies. Our goal is to get you a job. Our CEO likes to, she tightens the screws, and what she says is, look, if you're not connecting participants to jobs, then simply you're not doing your own. And you're not fulfilling the agreements that we made with our funders. But don't just listen to what I'm saying. Don't just take my word for it. Let's listen to this video.
There's a war out there for talent. There's a real lack of talent in the marketplace and huge demand.
The recognition of the talent that's needed to support the technology needs is so substantial that we have to start earlier in the stake of the training and the relationships and the pipeline development.
NPower Canada is a charitable organization that works in workforce development. We take underserved youth and we launch them into careers in the IT sector. All of our training is all directly informed by our consultation with employers so that our students come really ready and custom trained for those jobs.
We actually spend a fair amount of time thinking about the talent we need, and so we actually shared that list with NPower, who then adjusted their program so that they would actually deliver those skills. The interns themselves bring energy, enthusiasm, diversity of thought, and frankly, hard to find skills to
Sorry
our
about that. Just
organizations.
give me 1 second, please. Let me see why my trusted
Growing up, my
media
parents kind of pushed me to be a doctor. Unfortunately, some of my childhood friends and even family cousins ended up involved with the wrong kind of crowd and ended up passing. It really kind of took its toll on me. Eventually, I ended up dropping out. From there, I was just in a bad place. Found out about NPower, signed up. It's been probably the best experience I've ever had in my life.
The association with NPower has energized Accenture. You know, the value went both ways. This wasn't just Accenture adding value back from a corporate social responsibility perspective. We figured out that the NPower graduates who've joined us have been a very high-performing and very viable talent pool for us. Just look at the results, 90+% on employer satisfaction. So that's a great indicator that this is not just a good thing to do, it's a valuable thing to do for both parties.
We always look for young folks that have energy, have the passion, have the commitment, and we actually find the candidates that we get from NPower to display all those values. We all have a role to play, right? Like, it's for us to remove barriers, enable people to be more successful, and give them the opportunity. And you know what? I think NPower does a great job at that.
They already had the technical ability, they already had the confidence, and they already had the motivation. And I think that was evident right from the start. And you don't get that. You don't get that from every candidate. You don't get it from many candidates.
They're ready to go. They have the skills. They've got the professional skills and the technical skills, and they can hit the ground running. It's been a very solid fit with the organization. It's now just part of our DNA.
The results speak for themselves. I know it's a risk, but it's a risk that has a high reward. So I would say just give us a chance and we can show that we belong here.
Great, thanks for listening. I think Jamal, you have something to add?
Yeah, I wanted to touch on the video. And by the way, that was a great video. Hopefully y'all.
Hi guys, it's
Sorry, yes.
Hey girl, hey. But yeah, I believe it was Waleed from CIBC. He said 3 very, very important things. And I want your mindsets to be focused on those 3 things. The first one is removing barriers. So programs like ours, removing barriers to sustainable accessible, and successful career opportunities. The second thing he said was allowing people to be successful. There are a lot of roadblocks that we face in the way to getting into those career opportunities, getting into those programs, getting into those schools that don't allow us to be successful. But in order to do so, you got to have programs like NPower Canada. See, I'm pitching NPower Canada right now. Programs like NPower Canada to remove those barriers to allow you to be successful. And the last thing is giving you the opportunity. And we are giving the opportunity for free. So a question just for everybody, just for the sake of dialogue, what are some barriers that you faced in terms of getting into a full-time career? We know that this market is hard to enter into. So what are those barriers that you have faced? Okay, Preet Kamal, were you going to say something?
I guess people don't really take like inexperienced people nowadays. They prefer either they prefer the referrals to be get into the career, or either like secondly confidence. People nowadays, maybe people like me, they don't have much confidence like speaking professionally, because I have worked in the food industry for a longer time, and I think I just want to give a chance like in IT industry, like if I get successful in this one. So I guess confidence and the experience.
Definitely. Well, thank you for sharing that. I saw in the chat that Amalek also put down experience, and Mehak Deep put down knowledge of some required software. So thank you three for sharing. Is there anybody else that wanted to share? Again, feel free to either say it over microphone or type it in the chat. This is just to share.
Okay, thanks, Jamal. So, what are some of the jobs that are being accessed by NPower Canada's graduates? If you look at the slide, the screen, you'll see the salary ranges that they're able to attract. As you're aware, in the IT space, entry level, and I'll be honest, they're entry level roles, but they're roles into which you can grow and mature. We're talking about sustainable careers here. And for entry level positions, you know very well that the starting salaries are usually a little higher than is the norm for other sectors. Technical support representative at IBM, junior IT analyst at Accenture, hardware technician at Dell. Those are some of the roles. What are some of the positions that you are looking for? What are the jobs that you are aspiring to in the IT space? Anyone? Feel free to type it in the chat. Okay. Well, you can see that we are committed to working with our industry sector partners. And we actually have an advisory council that, as I said before, review our curriculum, guides us in terms of what are needed now, what are the qualifications and experiences that they're looking for from graduates, but also what the space is looking like 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line. So what are the future opportunities for training that exist and what positions will be coming up? We have over 2,000 graduates, and most of them will sing our praises, our testimony, will offer testimony that they have been equipped with the tools to successfully move forward with their careers. And most of them will tell you, you'll hear the similar stories of people feeling stuck. I hear people talking about not having enough experience, lacking the requisite experience. I hear often people feeling lost. Immigrants feeling lost. New Canadians feeling lost. Canadians in general feeling lost. I've worked in the career development field for a number of years across British Columbia, and that is usually the lament. We thought we were prepared, we thought we were equipped, we thought we were qualified, but something is preventing us from moving forward. And I see in the chat, some people are writing some of the jobs that they're looking for. Is that it?
Yep.
Financial institutions or get into accounting. Well, I can tell you that what we're finding is that we have our participants coming from diverse backgrounds. I heard a story about someone coming from the agricultural sector recently, but the participants are able to acquire the training and utilize the skills and knowledge that they've amassed in those non-traditional IT sectors. Because as you know, IT is everywhere, in agriculture as well. So how can it begin? NPower Canada has a model that is tried, tested, and proven. You will get technical training and support over a 15-week period. All our programs are shy of 4 months. You'll earn in-demand certification, such as the Google IT Support Professional certification that comes with our Junior IT Analyst program, or CompTIA Security Plus for one of our other programs. You're able to have instructor-led training, live instructors in a simulated work environment. You'll be able to network. We have mentors who are a part of our employer pipeline. We have mentors who have been through the program. You'll have peer support as well. Our aim, as I said, is to connect you with meaningful, sustainable career opportunities. And we support you every step of the way, from the admissions process, throughout the training, and beyond, which I'll speak with a little bit more. We expect full participation and that you remain engaged throughout the program. So it is a little intense, I'll admit, but for most of you who are enrolled currently at Columbia or graduates, you would have been used to the intensity of the programs. 8:30 until 1 each day, and we deliver the technical, the personal development, and the professional skills development pieces to ensure you success in the world of work. I spoke briefly about this before, our Junior IT Analyst program, Ground Zero. No prior IT or tech knowledge required. And we get this question a lot. I am interested in the IT space. I'm interested in an IT career, but I don't have the experience. Do you have the will? Do you have the desire? Welcome. I invite you to, as soon as you get off this chat, to apply for a program. And I see in the chat someone saying, I don't have experience in IT. Welcome. This is probably the program for you. Let us have a conversation around it. 17 to 30 years old, we are providing the pathways to technological careers. This program is a completion-based one, meaning there's no final exam. Instead, you have to participate in all the modules. And at the end, you will be able to earn a certification. The Google IT Support Professional Certification. During the program, you'll learn such skills as user support, networking, cloud fundamentals, systems administration, cloud infrastructure. And I'm saying this as if I know it. I had to jot this down, okay? So if you're saying that you have no experience in IT, I can tell you that you're a step ahead of me. The second program that we'll be offering in British Columbia is our Junior Data Analyst program. This is more of an intermediary one, and we're doing this in partnership with Microsoft. So we're equipping our participants with the skills that they can enter junior data analyst roles. We focus on SQL, Microsoft Azure, and Python for data analysts, cloud, and AI scripting. And at the end of it, remember this is an intermediate level program, you do require some previous knowledge in IT, in addition to the will and the desire. At the end of it, you will emerge after taking your exams and you're successful with the Microsoft Azure Fundamentals certificate. So the junior IT analyst, no experience required. Participation in all the modules leads to certification, in addition to the other pieces of professional skills and life skills that we'll be teaching. The junior data analyst program, intermediary, some experience required, exam at the end, Microsoft Azure Fundamentals. I mentioned the other pieces, and I don't mean to be frivolous because these are important. We have a three-pronged approach to our training. We're looking at the technical competencies, ensuring that you're equipped to enter the workspace as IT professionals, junior IT professionals. But remember, we're plugged in with our employer network and our partners, and they're saying to us that that is not enough. That is not sufficient. Graduates need to have the professional skills, being able to brand themselves, being able to present. We're looking at the resumes, and we're seeing resumes coming in quite lacking. So guess what? These are what we're looking for on the resumes. Insider knowledge, remember we're plugged in. Okay. The ability to network, sharpening, honing those networking, interviewing skills, personal branding, your LinkedIn profile. What does your LinkedIn profile say about you? And thankfully, we're moving into the area where we're separating the LinkedIn profile from the other social media profiles. Thankfully, my dear nephew, when I looked at his social media profile, he said his hobbies are eating, drinking, making love. I said to my sister, well, no wonder he can't get a job. Because when the employer looks at his profile, they're saying, this young man is busy, probably too busy for our jobs. So we're talking about the professional skills and also the life skills, personal skills. At times we tend to discard those. Oh, we have those in spades and abundance. We don't need it. Employers are saying to us, no, no, no. Pay attention to these skills, the attributes, being able to take care of self. That's a skill. Managing stress, setting goals. Okay? So we are trying to help you. We're here to help you to build your best self and develop your life skills. Being able to manage stress. Okay? We're setting you up for success based on our insider information and knowledge. Sorry, I was just reading the chat. No experience, no issues. Yes, Jabal, thanks. And remember, we spoke about feelings of being lost, not having sufficient network or effective networks. Questioning yourself whether or not you do have the skills required. And if you do not, how do you acquire those skills? Where do you go? Where do you turn? For example, Simon here, one of our successful graduates, and he entered our program as a newcomer to Canada. We were able to provide him with not only the technical skills that he needed, but also the professional and life development skills training. And for a new immigrant as well, across the cultural communication pieces. And now, successfully employed with Longview Systems in Calgary. The opportunities are there. Remember, I said the gaps are there. And the gaps for us equal opportunities. What does this mean for you? 6 months from now, or our program starts like September. So 6 months after that, where do you expect to be? Additionally, after graduating, this is something we're quite proud of. After graduating any of our training programs, we're able to provide you with not 1, not 2, not 3, 5 years of alumni support. 5 years, sorry. Five years of alumni support. Meaning, remember I said at the front end, at admissions, throughout the program, even when you connect to jobs, and I'm going to brag here, 80% of our graduates over the years across our programs have been able to access jobs within 6 months of graduating and or moving on to further studies. 80%. And we've been exceeding that number. Even when you're connected to your job and you think you're doing well, we're saying, look, we're here for you. Arms open wide. Alumni support, 5 years. And there are numerous opportunities that are opening up for our alums. We have coaching, mentorship. Remember, we want you not only to be able to acquire the job, but we want you to grow in the job. These are sustainable careers we're talking about. We're removing those employment barriers that Jamal spoke about. And we want to set you up for success for life. So our engagement alumni support engagement team is at your service, ready to help you. And one way in which we help is that we do provide access to upskilling, further training, such as the Google Automation with Python program that our alums, our alumni network, they're able to access. Did I say free? No, but that's crazy, Chris. At that stage, they've graduated successfully, you've connected them to jobs, and they're working. How can they still be getting free support? Remember, our kind funders. And we have said to our funders that this component is equally as important to ensure that you have a sustainable workforce. And another one that we've had and we're looking at is the Google Project Management Program. Advanced skill development. Dagmar Witt is another one of our successful graduates, and she is a part of our alumni program. Another newcomer, another feeling of being lost, cast adrift, inefficient, or lack of network. Not sure what to do. And I tell you, I lift my hat to what participants go through. I went through that. That's why I have no hair, if you can see the bald head shining at you. So I do understand, and I'm able to empathize. But what we're saying is that we're here to support you. NPower Canada was able to provide her with the technical training she needed, the personal development, the life development, skills training and support. And she's now working with Rogers in Toronto. Okay, Chris, enough of your chatter. Let's get to the meat of the matter. How do we access this program? We expect participants coming in to be 17 to 30 years old, high school diploma, GED, earned in any country, or dogwood, as they say in classified in British Columbia, unemployed or underemployed. And we have highly skilled participants coming in who have attached themselves to survival jobs. That is a common cry. How can we break out of this cycle? So they're facing numerous barriers to employment. Canadian language benchmark of 7 or higher. We're not going to be sitting and testing you, but we expect that you're at a level that you can function effectively in our work simulated training sessions, that you'll be able to grasp the materials, that you'll be able to competently and confidently, remember, we want to set you up for success, that you can actively engage and participate and successfully graduate and enter the workspace. That's what we're looking for. I'm sure you'll have questions around our eligibility criteria, and we'll be happy to answer them. We're trying to ensure that there's equity across our programs. We accept Canadian citizens, permanent residents, convention refugees, refugee claimants, and work permit holders. Oh yes, work permit holders. But we want to ensure that there's parity in our programs, that there are groups that face systemic barriers to employment, to accessing programs in general, that they're adequately represented in our programs. And we welcome all groups. You cannot be in full-time school. So that is one thing I need to emphasize. So you'll have to wait until you graduate, then enter our programs. But you can get the ball rolling by having a conversation, getting your questions answered, that you're ready to access. The next program here in Vancouver, when I say next, I mean our first training in Vancouver starts in September. So if you're interested in applying, our spaces tend to fill quickly. So get in ahead of the line and apply. Have that conversation with our admissions team. They're ready, they're willing to answer your questions. But how do I do this? Where do I go? Easy peasy. NPowerCanada.ca, sorry. NPowerCanada.ca/youth. You will receive, once you apply, you'll receive an email response from our admissions team, usually within 24 hours. We say 24 to 72, but it's usually a pretty quick turnaround time. We want to keep you encouraged and motivated. And if you do not receive our email, check your spam folder, because we've heard stories about, we have not received a response. Did you check your, oh, oops, my bad. Okay. And we will set up an interview where we will go through the process and look at your eligibility, look at your documents, discuss if this is the right fit for you. For some, it is not the right fit at this time, but we do make suggestions around support that they can access across our community partner network that we have in place. Then, perhaps for the next cohort, those individuals will be eligible or will be better prepared for success in our programs. So thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I'm going to turn it over for questions if you have any remaining questions. But as I say, thank you so much. And I'm going to leave the outreach at npower.ca email address up and a telephone number. Please feel free to contact us at any time. And we look forward to you accessing our wonderful opportunities that exist for you. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing my slide with your permission, Jenny.
Okay, do we have any questions from the audience? We'll just wait for a minute to see if we have any questions. Yes.
You're welcome.
Okay, it doesn't look like there are any additional questions. So thank you so much, Christopher and Jamel, for joining us today.
Jenny, can I interrupt for 1 second?
For sure.
I want to interrupt for a minute. Christopher, can you stop sharing the screen for a second?
Yes.
Yes, I want people to see my full face as I make these statements. Perfect. Well, for those who are still here, I saw some left. This is amazing information, by the way, and I don't say that because I work with Chris and I work for NPower Canada. I'm saying that this is amazing information because you will not find a lot of programs that do this at all. So my question to you, because I know you're currently doing a program, is what are your next steps? Like after you are doing what you're doing, what is your next step afterwards? Are you sure? Are you unsure? Is it set in stone? What are your next steps? And the reason I'm asking is because this is a next step that will lead you to an amazing opportunity, that will lead you to employment, that will lead you into career, that will lead you into financial stability. It's only for you to take the opportunity and to apply it to what you're doing today. Now, if you are finishing in September, our program does start in September. Depending on the date that you finish, you can just easily transition into the program. I'm going to let you know some interesting information that was shared with me today. We've already done research on everybody in your program. Oh, I know that sounds a little bit creepy, but we did. Secondly, we already figured out that the best program for everyone here would be the Junior Data Analyst program. Because of what you're learning, you can transition easily and pass with no issues. Oh, that's the second thing. And it was told to me that by week 7, at least 40% of you will be employed. Week 7 out of 15 weeks will have a full-time career opportunity lined up for you. The rest will come within the rest of the program. So you're already looking at employment opportunities. You're already looking at success. You're already looking at certifications. So when I ask you, what's your next step? What is your next step? You should have an answer. And if you don't, this is an amazing opportunity for you to be a part of. So what I'm going to do really quickly, people are still leaving, is email Chris. Ginny, I'm going to put something in the chat. This is a link to my Google document. This allows us to keep track of emails and information of people who have attended this workshop. What I will do is, if you can send this out to everybody, and for those who are here that want to fill this out, I will get your information. I will swing it over to Christopher, and Christopher can directly contact you and let you all know more about the program. And if you have more questions that you didn't want to ask here because you weren't sure yet, he can definitely answer those questions. So think about it. This is a great opportunity. You won't miss out, but you will definitely benefit from everything we have. Oh, Manpreet, do you think we can get a job in the IT field while studying this course? Which course are you talking about? That's the only clarification that I need.
Maybe Manpreet is referring to the program, yeah.
Oh, the program we are talking about. Yes, you can get a job in IT. Now, in terms of when you're going to be starting working, we try to get you starting full-time work by the time the program ends, only because you're working full-time and there's still a commitment from 8:30 to 1 p.m. When the program happens. That being said, there have been ways where we've been more flexible around week 10 when it comes to the program, if we happen to find you employment. So that is something to think about. You can be employed earlier, just around week 10. That does provide flexibility. I'm not too sure what that would look like in the Vancouver region, but here's the program manager, Christopher, who can definitely assist you with anything here. You don't understand who is in your presence. The person that runs the show is in your presence. H asks, do we need a current IELTS score, or our past expired score will work as well? Christopher, does it have to be current, or will a past one also work?
If it is at a level 7 or higher, and we will know during the conversation we have at the interview stage and so forth, so that should be okay. But as I said, speak with our admissions team, but usually that should be acceptable.
Perfect. And Manpreet asks, let's say for those who are unemployed and what to start as soon as possible. I guess when the program starts, or if you can start as soon as possible. So we are starting in September. Oh, you want to start? Oh, even better, you want to start. So we are starting in September. Also, the reason we start in September is because we start our programs at the same time nationally. So Vancouver will start the same program time as Calgary. We'll start the same program time as the GTA. We'll start the same program time as Halifax, along the same lines, to make sure that we can, keep everything structured. But if you do want to start as soon as possible, the first step is to apply. Apply today, apply yesterday, apply 5 minutes ago. Once you apply, you can move through the application process. You can have that interview, and you can save your spot for September, and you have nothing to worry about until the program starts. And then you just give it your all, and you can then transition into a full-time career opportunity. But yes, apply. Again, Google form. sign up. I will swing your information to Chris. He can definitely get in contact with you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to stop recording now.